Hello, fragrance family. Welcome to another video from Proverbs 27:9 fragrances. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 lists for spring of 2022. And so this is a top 10 list of the fragrances that I'm going to be wearing and what I feel is the best spring fragrances to make you stand out. You're going to smell like spring, but you're going to smell different than everyone else. I promise you, no other YouTuber will have this list. They might have one or two off of this, but this will be a pretty unique list. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you got the notifications turned on. We upload every Monday and Friday, but then we also do videos like this in midweek and on weekends, extra videos and things of that nature. So when you think of spring fragrances, you think of citruses, fruits, green notes like grass and vetiver and mint, things of that nature, woods and florals and those nice light musks, things of that nature. So I'm going to give you 10 fragrances that do a lot of different things. These are not 10 of the same fragrance. These fragrances are going to be so different. Some are going to be good for morning, some all day, some evening, but it's going to be a variety of all those different notes that we mentioned. All right, in the number 10 spot, first pick from the house of Lalique, we're going to go with Encry Noir Sport. And this is probably my favorite from the Encry Noir line. It's fresh. You get that nice blast of bergamot and grapefruit off the top. It dries down nice and woody with a really nice vetiver dry down. You retain those citrus notes throughout. This is a good spring evening fragrance. I think you could wear it all day, but I prefer that one as a nice evening out spring fragrance. Even though it says sport, I think that's where it fits the best. Number 10 spot, Lalique Encry Noir Sport. All right, number 9 spot, a classic from the house of Christian Dior, and it is Dune Pour Homme. So I don't own very many niche fragrances, but I do like classic fragrances and hard to find fragrances. And Dune is one of those, although it is still, you can still find it. So, and you can find it at a good price. You can, I don't know what the retail value on or the retail price is. I would assume since it's Christian Dior, it's probably north of $100. And I picked this one up. This is actually my son's bottle. My son is my oldest son. He's into fragrances, and he also is into movies, and Dune is one of his favorite books, one of his favorite movies. And when he saw that there was a fragrance named Dune, even though I told him it had nothing to do with the movie, he still wanted to get it. And I think he paid $75 for it. It's fresh and green and spring. Fig leaf, sage, and basil are your top notes. So it starts out green. Then you get this nice rose and tonka. So a kind of a sweetened up rose floral accord comes along. Dries down creamy with the sandalwood. And it really smells like you're on a Mediterranean beach. You're in the sand. There's the fig trees are around you, and the breeze is blowing, the water. This is a good any time of day fragrance. Definitely one that you could wear during the day, but also just a nice one to go out at night with as well. Number 9 spot, Dune by Christian Dior. At the number 8 spot, My favorite in the line, L'Eau d'Issey Pour Homme, and it is another sport fragrance. But don't let these sport names fool you. These are not sport fragrances in the sense of the classics, like Polo Sport or, Chanel Allure Sport or something like that, where they just kind of throw sport on it. I would have named this one different. I would have named Encry Noir difference, because this is not a gem scent. But what you have is that that beautiful L'Eau d'Issey. Let me turn my light down here a little bit. The beautiful L'Eau d'Issey fragrance profile with the citruses. It's a woody citrus aromatic, is how they describe it. Grapefruit, bergamot. You've got that beautiful floral mid, but it's toned back quite a bit compared to the original L'Eau d'Issey. This is a little more masculine, but it is fresh and bright and a little bit green, and it's just a really nice springtime fragrance. At the number 7 spot from the house of Guerlain, this is from their Homme line, and it is L'Eau Boissée. Guerlain Homme L'Eau Boissée. Probably a lot of you have never smelled this one, and that's a shame, because it is really, really nice. This could easily have been higher on the list, and really top 10. I'm not saying that really. I put them in order of probably the most that I will be wearing them, not necessarily the order of what I think smells best to worst, because this would definitely be in the top 5 for sure if I was just going by just how good of a fragrance they are. I'm kind of going in the order of how I feel like I'll probably wear them most to least. Because La Boissée it just smells great. It's classified as a woody chypre, but it opens with this lime and this kind of grass and mint top. So it's bright and fresh, clean, green. It's got vetiver and rum in the base, and it just smells like you're standing out in a luscious lawn in the middle of spring, and you're holding a cocktail in your hand, with that rum and lime accord. It's just really fresh and invigorating, cooling. It's just really nice. I really like one. I really suggest, if you've never smelled that one, to smell it. And the number 6 spot, a new one, a new release from a new fragrance company as well. And this is from Straight, and it is Ahead. And this is their fragrance that is endorsed by NBA superstar Giannis. And I think every time I've mentioned this one in a video, I've mentioned that Chris from Scentland is the one who turned me on to this, because this is a great cheapie. You can pick this fragrance up off Walmart.com for $20, and it smells like its quality is like anything else in this list. It's high quality for a designer. It's not niche level by any means, but it smells good for a designer. I would say slightly above average designer. It doesn't smell like a cheap designer. It doesn't smell like a super fancy designer. You're not going to mistake it for Chanel, Dior, or Guerlain, but the rest, it's right there in the midst. It's a woody, spicy, bergamot and pepper are the top notes. Then you get this, and that lasts a pretty good while, the kind of citrusy, grapefruity. It's green, This blast you get on the top, it's a little bitter, I would even say. But then it's nice lavender and geranium and neroli. So you get those floral components coming in, aromatic components. And then it dries down with cedar and iris. It lasts all day long. It's fresh, clean. This is a better daytime scent. You could wear this as a gym scent, but I'm telling you, it's pretty strong. I mean, its projection is good. So that's a good cheapie you ought to pick up if you haven't gotten it yet. All right, number 5 spot, and I did a little shuffling around here on my list. Number 5 spot from the house of Hugo Boss, it's Reversed. And I really like this one. This is another cheapie. You can pick this up at the rack stores, TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington, places like that. You can pick this one up for about $25. And I think that's a 125 ml. That's a 4.2 ounce. And it smells really good. It's been compared to Elysium. I don't really get that. It's nowhere near a clone of Elysium. There are some subtle similarities, but just on its own, it's a good smelling spring, and even I wear this in a summertime fragrance. It's just a really nice blast of grapefruit, vetiver, with a little bit of rosemary. There's not a lot of changing, a lot of depth. It's not a type of fragrance that's going to wow you with how it transitions. It's just really nice grapefruit vetiver fragrance. All right. In the number 4 spot from the house of Bulgari, this is Wood Neroli. And so, as you would imagine with the name Wood Neroli, that is the star of this fragrance. It opens up with a beautiful neroli is the first thing that you smell, followed by some really nice citrus with a bergamot. It dries down to cedar, amber. Leather's mentioned as a note. I don't get much of that. Neroli, I mean, honestly, neroli, citrus, and cedar is what you're getting with this fragrance. But it's definitely worth a pickup. And that is one that you could, that's an office type scent. You could definitely wear it out at night, especially if it's a hot night. I wouldn't call it a nighttime fragrance, though. I would call it more of a daytime, anytime type fragrance. All right, in the number 3 spot, so our top 3 here. These are the bangers, and these are all classy. Classy fragrances you can wear any time of day, but these are super classy. And because I work in an office environment, I will be wearing these the most. 5 days a week plus church on Sunday, 6 days a week. I'm in, kind of dressed up a little bit and meeting a lot of folks. Number 3, I'm going to go with from the house of Zaharov, Signature Royale. And I don't have a large bottle. I've got I think that's a 15 or a 20 ml decant from small travel bottle, not a decant. It's the actual Zaharov signature that George sent me as a gift, and I really appreciated that. But it smells fantastic. And all right, sorry about that. I'm back. You didn't know it, but had to answer the door. So, Signature Royale, you get a beautiful citrus and apple on the top. And then in the mid, it comes in with a a great lavender note, followed or accompanied with a beautiful magnolia for your floral component. And then the dry down is that amazing Zaharov signature dry down with it's got all these beautiful resins and woods mixed together, frankincense and myrrh, and all these beautiful ambers and woods mixed together. It is truly one of the most unique scent profiles of anything in my collection for sure. And the signature Royale version is the bright, more citrusy spring type scent, and I love it. I really do. And going to be wearing, probably will drain that bottle this spring, and will buy a full-sized bottle. All right, number 2 spot, one that I didn't used to like when I first got it because my expectations of it was one thing, and then when you get it, it smells a little bit differently, but it has not only grown on me, but has become one of my favorites. And it's from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and it is Pour Homme. Having a hard time getting the camera to focus on these with the setup here. Max Forte's signature scent and favorite scent. And I've got a video coming up where I'm going to be reviewing the reviewers, and I'll give you a little spoiler. This will be the fragrance from Max that I will review, but just going to look at some of the different fragrance reviewers, and so maybe look for that video here in the coming weeks. But Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, it's an aromatic fougere. It opens with a bouquet of citruses. You got orange, you got lime, you got bergamot, you got mandarin oranges. And then it's followed by this beautiful spicy lavender, this pepper and lavender and tonka. It dries down with this great cedar note. It says there's tobacco. I never get the tobacco note. And I think that's one of Max's problems with the new formulation, is that it took that tobacco note away. And I'm not a huge tobacco note fan, so it doesn't bother me that it's not prominent there. But it's really, really nice, and I'll be wearing it. It was my scent of the day yesterday. Of course, that wasn't probably when this video came out, but I really like it, and I'm wearing it a lot. Do you know what number 1 is? If you've been watching my videos, you probably do. I've described this one as springtime in a bottle. I can't wait for spring to roll around so I can start wearing this more prominently again. I have described it as probably the closest thing I can think of to what the Garden of Eden would have smelled like. It's my Easter fragrance every year from the house of Christian Dior. Eau Sauvage. I don't even know if I need to say anything about it. I've talked about it a lot. I'm not sure if I've done just a singular review on this fragrance. Yeah, I have. It is stunning. It is the absolute best citrus opening in perfumery. I've never smelled a citrus opening better than Eau Sauvage. It's lemon and bergamot with this kind of herbally basil, followed by the best floral mid in anything I've ever smelled. L'Odyssée Pour Homme comes close, and I think they put a lot of, there's a lot of similarities there, but it's jasmine, carnation, rose, and then it dries down to this classic oak moss, vetiver, musk. It is heavenly, and that's my number 1, and will be my number one most worn spring fragrance. Let me know your top 10. Put it in the comments. I want to get more commenting from you guys. Let me know what your top 10 is. Tell me what you would have took out of my list. If I don't care what you say, just keep it clean, and let me know what your favorite ones are for spring. All right, guys. Until we see you down the road, we say God bless. Frag on, Frag fam.